The End of Luciria, to those who fight with everything in them. Garcia, Elisa, Philip, and Tina returned to the Temple of Dreams. They knew they would either lose their lives or destroy Luciria's schemes. They snuck through the halls of the ruined temple while avoiding the spinning swords, slowly making their way to the great central dome, fearing attack from demon hordes. As they entered the room, they saw Garcia's shadow with a towering fire column behind. It moved with an impossible swirling motion that in true fire no one can find. Then Garcia's shadow began speaking in a frightening feminine voice. It said, "Philip, put down Garcia's fire gem. You truly have no choice. The great fire god Chisimaidu is many times as strong as my other 4 real monsters together. You will not survive for long." It then said, "Garcia, bring me to your world. You and your friends can rule with me. I will grant you immortality and limitless power. You can each rule a galaxy." But Philip suspected, unless she was stopped, all of his friends were doomed. Luciria would never give up her conquest until the universe was consumed. He shakily asked, "What if we refuse?" Then Garcia's shadow started to grin. Luciria spoke, "Garcia will do what I say, for you have no chance to win. Chisimaidu will start to slowly burn you. If that doesn't force Garcia's hand, when you're gone he will start on Tina, then Elisa, until Garcia obeys my demand. Chisimaidu will burn him until he's begging to bring me into your world." Philip never imagined such a terrible threat, but his fury was fully unfurled. He sent a mighty blast of the solid flame straight into the fire god's swirling, while Garcia ran and took a great flying leap into his shadow to force its returning. Yet Chisimaidu quickly overcame Philip, then burned and tormented him bad. But Tina snatched the fire gem away, attacked the fire god like a demon gone mad. Garcia at last rejoined with his shadow, and the spinning swords fell to the floor. He fully regained all his lost powers and was completely whole once more. But only Tina stood between the fire god's wrath and Philip and their magical friends. The only choice left was for her to fight to the grimmest of all possible ends. As she madly wielded the vast solid flames, she used such incredible will that as the fire god died, Tina faded away, and where she went is unknown still. The mighty fire gem shattered from the terrible strain, beyond all human bounds. No other person could have possibly done it on any of existence's grounds. But Luciria snatched the others to her world, where she forced them to stare at her form. That tormented their minds with unimaginable horror and pain known by none ever born. Yet Garcia's spirit finally overcame hers and destroyed her to gain their relief. He then freed their minds from the unthinkable sight which would have tortured them beyond belief. When Garcia finally crushed Luciria's mind, he pulled Philip and Elisa from harm, then carried them home to the Temple of Dreams and brought Tina back to Philip's arms. Luckily, she had not suffered their fate, yet still paid a terrible price. She continued to age at the normal rate, which finally led to her sad demise. Since the others had traveled outside of existence, it seemed they would never die. But as the years slipped away, Tina grew old and feeble, and all Philip could do was cry. After she died, he rarely spoke about her, though he loved her with all of his heart. They had been married for 70 years, so her death had torn him apart. He suffered a terrible, deadly depression, but Garcia had found a solution. Philip would marry Elisa as well, which at first caused a lot of confusion. But brownies sometimes had more than one marriage when it would save someone's life, and the 3 of them had not aged a day after suffering Luciria's strife.